So, very good morning and welcome to the course VLSI System Design Theory course. Last time we have discussed the general features of the inverters, various properties which we have to understand. Like we have discussed what is the output high voltage VOH, then output low voltage VOL, then input low voltage VIH, sorry VIL, and then VOH, sorry VIH also, input low and input high voltage also we discussed. Also we discussed how to calculate delay, but these were general properties. Now we are going to discuss a specific inverter circuit, that is CMOS inverter. Though there may be possibility we can design CMOS inverter with only NMOS transistor or only PMOS transistor, with resistive load, with MOSFET as a load, enhancement, depletion mode MOSFET as a load, or even for the load also the NMOS or PMOS can be used. Various possibilities are there, but all those we are not going to discuss. We are more interested in CMOS inverter. It is best of them. Out of the all available other inverters, the CMOS inverter is the best one, which gives better performance. We are interested in that. So let us discuss this DC characteristics of the CMOS inverter, or we can say static. We are not going to see dynamic characteristics. We are not going to see transient response and delay, RC constant, all those. In this lecture, we are only going to discuss only DC response or static characteristics of the inverter. So let us see here. Let me take a pointer also. Here it is an here very simple symbol we are using, just simple source drain, just exactly same, but for PMOS here bubble is there, gate at the gate side. For NMOS no bubble. So this simple or simplified symbol we are using. This is PMOS, this is NMOS, and input is given at the both the gates are connected. Gate of PMOS and NMOS are connected, and drain of PMOS and drain of NMOS are connected together, and here we are taking output. Source of the NMOS is grounded, and source of the PMOS is given VDD supply voltage, which is highest supply voltage. Means it will be in the case of this CMOS inverter some positive voltage. It depends on the which technology you are using. Suppose in the experiment we are using 0.5 50 nanometer channel length technology. It was working at 1 volt, so VDD will be here 1 volt, but many technologies are working at 5 volt, so here VDD will be equal to 5 volt. So VDD depends on the means which node you are working, and depending on the models of that type of transistors, it may be 5 volt or even less. So or even we have already in the lab we have seen that 1 volt is also VDD. For the some technologies 1 volt is the maximum voltage. So it's just like that. So let us understand how it is working. Like here in steady state only one device is on and one device is, and also no static power consumption is there, and other devices either NMOS will be on or PMOS will be on. Whatever you are giving, either you are giving 0 or 1. In one case one transistor is on, other is off, and no any static power consumption. And also it depends does not depend on W by L ratio. It is ratio-less logic. And let us see, like suppose you are giving here at V in you are giving 1 volt. Sorry, we are giving 1 means logic 1. It is 1 volt is large. It is not required that 1 volt. Logic 1 may be 1 volt, or logic may be 1 may be 5 volt, depending on at which supply voltage the circuit or technology is working. So suppose we are giving input as a logic 1. So NMOS here, if it is a logic 1, NMOS will become on, and you are giving high. Logic 1 you are giving means high, you are giving high, and this NMOS transistor become on. Therefore this output point is directly getting means low resistance path if it is on. So this is getting some low resistance path, and it is directly connected to ground. So therefore it will be showing 0, though you have given here logic 1. And why this transistor will not be on? Because it becomes on at a negative voltage you are giving, means some at logic high, whatever BDD is logic high, you are giving BDD here. So you are giving BDD here. At that time, this PMOS will be off. It requires some negative side, means low voltage. And magnitude wise not low, but negative voltage is required for making this one on. So it is BDD is positive some supply voltage that you are giving here. Logic 1 we are considering now. Logic 1 means you are giving BDD here at the input, then it is on, and this is getting direct path between the ground and this output, and therefore it is becoming low. And since it is off, it is not connected to BDD, means this output is not getting any path, because it is off, this PMOS is off, so not getting any path to connect with BDD. But so in this case, what is happening? V out is equal to, means we are getting generally 0. It is CMOS inverter, so VOL. V out is equal to VOL, means output low voltage. Whatever output at the low, when it is low, then whatever magnitude, that is denoted by VOL, output low. And in this case, output low is exactly, means just 0. But if you are applying input voltage logic 0, and in that case what happens? In that case you are giving logic 0. In that case this PMOS, logic 0 and logic 1 we are talking. So PMOS transistor is on and NMOS transistor is off. So when it was logic high, then this was NMOS was on, and when it is logic 1, then PMOS getting on. So this is basically output is directly connected to BDD, and here no static power loss, static power consumption. So directly BDD will be appearing at the output. So in this way, V out is equal to VOH. VOH and VOL already we defined. So VOH, and which is equal to BDD. So in this way, means it is giving very good, means at the best properties of that PMOS and NMOS are taken together here, and we are getting. So ideal VOH and ideal VOH and VOL we are getting, means we are getting swing at output. We are getting swing between 0 and VDD, which is full swing possible. Whatever full swing possible, that is possible. And it is also called ratio-less logic. Output is independent of transistor size in steady state. So W by L, it does not depend on W by L ratio. This is why ratio-less logic. So its output voltage versus input voltage characteristics is shown for the inverter, which we have discussed here. This is CMOS inverter. For this, this is the VTC plot, voltage transfer characteristics. Also some load lines are also shown here. Means basically output characteristics of the NMOS is this solid line, and dotted lines are showing the output characteristics of the PMOS during the operation. So basically we can see there is BDD. This is the voltage when input is output volt. BDD is the, you are getting BDD voltage, output voltage when input voltage is 0. So you are giving 0 input voltage, you are getting maximum BDD, which is also called VOH, output high voltage. So in the case of CMOS inverter, VOH is equal to BDD. Also there is also possibility that if you are giving the means input you are giving 0, also you can give input highest value, that is suppose for this 4 volt. So you are giving input voltage equal to BDD. In that case, what is the output voltage? So when BDD you are giving, then this is touching this correct. This plot is touching to the x-axis. If you draw perpendicular, it will come to 0. So this input voltage is equal to BDD. In that case, output voltage is 0, which is also called VOL, output low voltage. So at this point you are getting output low voltage, here you are getting VOH, means output high voltage. Also other two terms we define, that here somewhere where slope is negative. First point in the VTC plot, when first you get the slope negative point, another point is here somewhere where slope is negative. So dV out means dynamic is differentiating output voltage with respect to input voltage. So dV out by dV in is equal to -1 here, and here also dV out by dV in is minus. So from this first point, if you draw perpendicular on the x-axis and wherever it is touching, it will be considered as VIL, input low voltage. And from the second point, which is a negative or unity gain point, but negative slope, but from here if you draw another point, you are getting on the x-axis, that is called VIH, input high voltage. So these are few important points of this VTC plot. Also just all one by one we will discuss, and instead of going on load line, we have to discuss how it is operating, its operation, and VTC plot more detail we will discuss here. So let us see like here how on off conditions we are deciding. NMOS transistor when it will be on, and PMOS transistor when it will be on and off. So our cutoff or in saturation, all the conditions should be clear. So as per theory, this cutoff condition in this for NMOS, this transistor, NMOS transistor, V input, it should be less than threshold voltage of NMOS. It is directly this input voltage is directly connected to this gate of this transistor, and this should be whatever input voltage you are giving, it should be means less than threshold voltage, then it will be off in cutoff region. Also, basically BDS. Generally, we talk about BDS. So basically, BDS. This is drain and this is source. VDS is basically also the same for the NMOS transistor. Whatever BDS value, that is exactly equal to the B out. So BDS is nothing different. So BDS for NMOS, it is BDS is basically just directly connected to V out. So the V out is also same. So BDS, instead of talking BDS, we are writing here V out. So BDS is if less for the linear region of operation, BDS is less than V in minus VTN. We have already seen that V in, what is V in? You are applying V in, which is basically VGS. For the NMOS, V in is VGS. So for NMOS transistor, this V in whatever input voltage, that is basically voltage between potential difference between this gate of NMOS and ground. So and source. So VGS is basically just exactly equal to V in, and therefore we are able to write in this way. Instead of VGS, we are writing V in, and for BDS we are writing V out. For the NMOS transistor, we are able to write in this way that V out is less than V in minus VTN, and in saturation, obviously this is the drain voltage condition, but gate voltage must be this V in must be greater than VTN. V in must be greater than VTN, then only it will be either working in for the gate voltage. This V in voltage must be greater than VTN, then only either linear region or saturation region operation will start. So here one more condition also we should write here. 1 minute. Pointer. Pen. So obviously for these two conditions, V in must be greater than VTN. It should be threshold voltage condition should be satisfied. Transistor NMOS transistor should be on at least. So on, after that additional conditions are that this V out should be less than V in minus VTN, and for saturation V out must be greater than V in minus VTN. We are writing VGS minus VT here. The same thing we are writing V in minus VTN, because VGS is now VT, basically here this is VGS, this is VGS, this is VGS, which is equal to V in VGSN. VGSN. For n mass I am giving some suffix n, and this one is between these 2 points. This one is VDS n. So VDSN, VDSN. and it is basically VDSN is basically equal to V out and this one VG basically this VGSN is equal to V in. We can say V in. V in. So these are the things to be understood. Similarly, PMOS transistor when it will become on and off. Obviously, for PMOS transistor, this is the source. For the PMOS transistor, this is the drain. For PMOS transistor, this is the gate. For NMOS transistor, this is the gate. This is the drain. And this one is source. So we should know. So we have to decide for this transistor to make it on. Just opposite condition, whatever conditions for the input voltage for the NMOS, it is just opposite condition should be applied here. So basically this is why it requires negative voltage. So VGS, if you have to calculate VGS in this figure, what is the value of VGS? At gate input voltage is V in, at drain input voltage is VDD. So what is the value of VGS for VGSP? VGSP is what? VGS for P type P channel transistor, what will be the value? Tell me. VGSP. VGSN means gate to source voltage for N, and VGSP gate to source voltage for P. Somebody tell? I should move fast. Not telling V in minus V, because both the term you are taking potential difference here, V in here, VDD. So you should take difference between V in minus V in and VDD. Therefore here cutoff is decided by V in minus VDD should be greater than VTP, or we can say magnitude wise it is talking. So basically V in should be greater than VTP plus, sorry, if it is VDD is taken the right side, so V in is greater than VDD plus VTP. Similarly, linear region is decided for the cutoff region. In this way we are deciding basically VGS, this V in minus VDD is basically VGS, so it is greater than VTP, but negative side there will be negative side. And similarly, obviously when it is on, when it is becoming on, then this condition will be reversed, gate voltage condition will be reversed and drain voltage condition will be applied. So drain voltage also here VDSP, what is the value of VDSP? It is D, drain of the PMOS is already connected to V out. So basically the VDS is means at this point V out, but basically difference you are not talking about the means only BD drain voltage. At drain what is the voltage at this node? You are talking about the potential difference between drain and source. So VDSP will be decided by V out minus VDD, because at the source it is having VDD, not ground. If it is grounded, then only the voltage which is appearing here that will be there, but here it is V out minus VDD. You have to write V out minus VDD. If it is clear, then we can apply all these things. to the solving the problem. So these are the conditions. And linear region condition, that it should be V out minus VDD should be greater than this V in minus VDD, or we can say in this way also VDD minus VTP, or sorry, this is the V in minus VDD is the input voltage here at the PMOS, and this minus VTP, or we can say in this way V out should be greater than V in minus VTP. Similarly, other condition means if you are going in saturation, the opposite of this condition should be applied at drain voltage. So we will see more details here, like here. If we talk about VTC plot, then in which region it is saturated and in which region linear region, all are decided here in this graph. We can see here VTC plot is shown here from this one, from point A, then going to B, then going to C, D, E, F, G, H, and even I. So from H to I there is no current, we can say. And here at point A it is maximum. So VOH is decided, that is VOH is equal to VDD here. Basically at 0 input voltage it is giving maximum voltage, which is VOH, and in this case it is just exactly equal to VDD. And obviously here some classification is done, that from A to B and even up to you are coming C to D, and at this point from D there is a line. We can see this line. This line is basically defining that V out equal to V in minus VTP. For the PMOS transistor, it is defining a region or a means boundary. If you are above this boundary, what is the PMOS characteristics, and below the boundary, what is the PMOS characteristics, that is decided. Like PMOS is in linear region here, and if you are coming below this line, PMOS is in saturation region. And also for NMOS here there is another line, because NMOS threshold voltage is here somewhere VTN, PMOS threshold voltage is negative side here somewhere. So from this threshold voltage you are drawing some straight line, and it is cutting somewhere. So that is another boundary. It is deciding V out equal to V in minus VTP. And similarly from threshold voltage of NMOS you are drawing one line that is deciding the boundary between the linear and saturation region of the NMOS. So we can see here NMOS is in linear region. It is as in the graph it is already shown. NMOS is in linear region here, and but here if you are going above this line, so NMOS is in saturation region. In the white portion, NMOS is in saturation region. In this portion, NMOS is in linear region. So these are the few lines means which we are defining, and also in between there is another line from 0 to this point, and it is almost cutting at mid of this plot, and it is going here. So this line is basically V out equal to V in. So we have defined three lines: V out equal to V in minus VTP, another line V out equal to V in minus VTN. So obviously we know that VTN is threshold voltage of NMOS, VTP is the threshold voltage of, we are plotting this line, means this is the equation of the line. V out equal to V in minus VTP you are plotting, then you are getting this line. You are plotting V out equal to V in minus VTN, you are getting this line. Also you are plotting V out equal to V in, then you are getting this line. It is cutting here somewhere to this plot, that is point E. It is basically deciding the threshold voltage of the circuit. If you draw perpendicular from here, so it will give you some value, that is VTH of the circuit. Also we can see there is some negative slope point here somewhere. Some negative slope point is here somewhere, and I think here it is negative slope is here somewhere at this point C. So if you draw perpendicular, first negative slope point on the characteristics is at point C. If you draw perpendicular from C to the x-axis, it is defining input low voltage. Another point is here somewhere. So here suppose here negative slope point is, so you are drawing perpendicular on the x-axis, it is defining VIH. So VIL and VIH also defined, and VOH is defined, that is output voltage at the 0 input voltage, and VOL is defined output voltage at the input voltage VDD, or input voltage at logic high. If it is at maximum VDD you are applying, but for whatever output voltage you are getting, that is called VOL. So these four parameters like VOH, VOL, VIH, VIL, all these are very important. And after that also some conditions, as already I have explained here in previous slide, that for the n mass V out equal to VDSN. Basically for n mass, whatever V out you are getting, that is just equal to drop between drain and source. Whatever potential difference between drain and source is just equal to V out for the n mass. Potential difference between the gate and source for n mass is equal to V in, and for the P mass it is just VGSP. VGSP is equal to input voltage minus VDD, because gate is at V in and its source is at VDD. This is why V in minus VDD. And similarly, out this between drain and source, what is the potential difference? VDSP is defined as V out minus VDD. So these are the conditions, and conditions for saturation for the n mass and p mass are here given, like VDSN must be greater than VGSN minus VTH, as usual in the MOSFET we know, and V out must be basically VDSN can be written as V out and VGSN can be written as V in. So V out must be greater than V in minus VTN. And similarly for the P mass, this VDSP drop means potential difference between drain and source, it is basically less than VGSP minus VTP, just opposite of this. And V out must be less than V in minus VTP. These are the conditions for making means for understanding if it is on in saturation region. So conditions for saturation region are given. Conditions for saturation region for P mass and mass are given, and this is means to understand output voltage relation between output voltage and drain to source voltage of n mass. Similarly, input voltage and drain to gate to source voltage of n mass. Similarly, output voltage of the P mass and its drain to source voltage. Also, input voltage of the P mass and gate to source voltage. These are defined here. So basically, we can see there are the regions, different regions. If you come from A to B, here P mass is in linear region and mass is in cutoff region, that we will discuss on more detail. And B to C, P mass is in linear region and N mass is in saturation region. And this is white portion between D and F. P mass is in saturation, N mass is in saturation. It is not this region is not useful for the logic application. For the basically logic application, it is not good, but for amplification it is good. And in this region between F and H, this N mass is in linear region and P mass is in saturation region. And if you come to from H to I, N mass is in linear region and P mass is in cutoff region. So this graph is very useful, with the help of which we are able to calculate various characteristics of the device. So instead of talking too much on these characteristics, all these are explained, texts are given, you can go through that. Every point is clear. And we can come to the few more properties like CMOS inverter VTC plot device sizing. If you are this is VDD, which is equal to VOH and VDD are same. You are getting the same value of VOH as VDD, and here VOL at 0. So our logic 0 is here 0 ground. So B out versus B in plotted, we can see if W by L ratio or W is changing, then what is the effect that we are seeing. So Kn equal to Kp, here it is written Kn equal to Kp. We know that K, what is K? Mu1 COX W by L. Mu1 COX W by L is K for N mass, and mu P COX W by L is K for P mass. So basically W by L ratio, basically if you are changing, then what is the effect? So here if you are considering Kn equal to Kp, we are designing in such a way that Kn equal to Kp you can consider only if you are taking W width of the P mass equal to 2 times width of the N mass, because the mobility of the P mass is just half of that of approximate value, half of that of N mass. Means mobility of holes in the P mass transistor is considered just half of that of electrons in the N mass. Therefore W of the P mass must be taken double of the width of the N channel MOSFET. If that condition is satisfied, then Kp equal to Kn. But if you are changing Kp equal to, you are increasing Kp equal to 5 Kn, then it is shifting towards the right side. If you are decreasing Kp equal to suppose 0.2 Kn, then it is this is shifting, this plot is shifting towards the left side. So these are the effects that we can increase W of P mass. You are increasing W of P mass, width of the P mass, Kp will increase and BTC plot moves towards right. And increase W of N mass, if you are increasing W of N mass and keeping W of P mass same, then Kn will increase and BTC plot moves to the left. So these are few points. And for the Kn equal to Kp, for the Kn equal to Kp, these are the conditions. For Kn equal to Kp, the threshold voltage of the circuit comes, means just if V in equal to V out, if you plot, it cuts at mid of the plot, and we get that V threshold Vm, or the Vm, or we can say Vth. Vth of the circuit is coming just like VDD by 2, half of this maximum supply. And the ratio, if this ratio is maintained, that Kn equal to Kp, then in that situation 2Wn equal to Wp. So Wp, we can see this Wp must be 2 times, Wp must be 2 times the width of the N channel MOSFET. So width of the P channel MOSFET must be taken 2 times width of the N channel. Wn is the width of the N channel MOSFET, Wp is the width of the P channel MOSFET. So these conditions must be satisfied. So these are few points, and you can change threshold voltage. So if you are considering this combination, that Kn equal to Kp and 2 Wp is equal to 2 Wn, then this plot is coming. But if you have some requirement that you want to change the threshold voltage of the circuit to some either left side or right side, that is possible. So in that case, Vm will not be equal to VDD by 2. So results from the changing Kp by Kn ratio is rise time, fall time will be not equal. Noise margin of the low and high side will not be equal. And that region of the changing, generally, what is the reason why we require? Sometimes we want faster delay for one type of transition, like rise time you want small, or fall time you want is small in comparison to rise time. Whatever, depending on the requirement, you can modify. Also some removal of the noise from the input signal, it increases one of the noise margin at expense of the other. So you can change the change the, generally noise margin should be high, noise margin high and low, they will be on almost equal, it is coming, but it can be unequal. You are changing noise margin, one noise margin you are increasing, then other will be decreasing. So at a expense of, means decreasing other one can be increased, noise margin high or noise margin low, you can increase at the expense of other. And interfacing with different logic with different swing level. So these are the few requirements. So next we are trying to derive some equations for the NMOS transistor, for this CMOS inverter. And instead of derivation, we should discuss the result. So we can come to the result because CMOS logic is more important, but later on every step we will discuss. So let us quickly derive some calculations. VIL we have defined already. So VIL, how it is coming, what is the mathematical value of the VIL, that we can understand. As we are here in the B to D region. If you are here in B to D region, in this region we can see PMOS is in linear region and NMOS is in saturation region. This is the transistor. For that, this is the VTC plot, and these are the relations of VDS with output, and VDSN with the output, VGSN with input. Similarly, VGSP with the input and drain voltage. Sorry, input and supply voltage, and VDSP with input and output and supply voltage. These are frequently used. So what is the situation that if you are in the plot between B and D, so you are between the B and D, means in this region, not exactly, sorry, it is okay. If you are up to D, not more than that, so maybe up to here. So if you are up to this region B to D, if you are in this region, so situation is that PMOS transistor is in linear region and NMOS transistor is in saturation region. So in this case current in this PMOS and NMOS both will be equated. So current equation for the NMOS saturation region equation will be used. For PMOS linear region equation will be used. So it is beta n by 2 VGSN minus VTN whole square, then beta p by 2. There is VGSP minus VTP, then VDSP minus half VDSP whole square. So that is half is basically taken outside. Then here 2 value is coming. So by solving and also VGSN will be shift means VGSN will be we can put VGSN equal to V in and VDSN equal to V out. Also BGSP we can put V in minus VDD, and VDSP we can put V out minus VDD. These are the substitutions here done in the second line, and then solving for that. So all these algebra you can do. Then this you are coming up to this step. So so many other steps are means that this is the second line. After that we are going to differentiate with respect to V in. So whole equation left side right side is differentiated with respect to input voltage. So then we are getting this new value where two terms are dV out by dV in. Then we are interested at the point where the negative slope you are getting because you want to find out the VIL. So VIL is defined as the first point where you are getting negative slope here somewhere. So at that point dV out by dV in should be kept minus 1. So by putting dV out by dV in equal to minus 1 here. So we will substitute in this equation dV out by dV in equal to minus 1. Then we will solve dV out by dV in equal to minus 1. This VGSN and VGSN, VGSP, VDSP all are substituted first from here. So from here all these are the given, that is substituted, then you are getting this equation. And after that slope means you are taking differentiation, then this may be substituted whatever here, it may be substituted here, and this one also can be substituted with this one. These substitutions can be done. Then between this, by substituting this, then if you are substituting dV out by dV in, then input voltage is taken. Also we can substitute V in. This substitution is possible only when V in equal to VIL. So when V in equal to VIL, in that case dV out by dV in is minus 1. So by substituting this new equation we are getting, and finally solution is coming, that some algebraic manipulation you can do, then we are getting everything. I am not going to discuss because it will be discussed in maybe later on, because we have to also complete the CMOS logic. So quickly coming, you can go through that. All the algebra is given. So this is the equation. And similarly for the second case in the region between F and H, if you see here in the region between F and H, so between F, this one, and H, here VIH is there. So for this region, what is the situation here? NMOS is in linear region and PMOS is in saturation region. So new manipulation. NMOS equation is taken for current ID equation for the linear region, and for PMOS it is taken in saturation region. And again that substitution as I have defined here, V out is equal to VDSN, V in equal to VGSN for the NMOS, and for the PMOS VGSP equal to V in minus VDD. This substitution must be done. So first equation directly written in terms of VGSN and VDSN and VGSP and V like that. Then VGSN is replaced by V in minus VTN, and VDSN is replaced by V out, and VGSP is replaced by V in minus VDD. So by substituting and solving and then differentiating again with respect to V in, you are differentiating with respect to V in, and again dV out by dV in here, and here two terms are there. You can put minus 1 here, and after that also input voltage now it will be V in equal to VIH. When input voltage is V in equal to VIH, then second point negative slope point is coming. At that point we can substitute dV out by dV in equal to -1 and solving. So this is the equation which we are able to get. This is the BIH equation. Also, so this algebra you can do. VOL calculation, even no need of calculation. VOL generally VDSN and it comes V out equal to VOL. But here the steps are given. You can go through that. Similarly, VOH also. VOH is also just exactly same exactly as VDD. So no need of this doing these steps that may be done. So very quickly means instead of going all that, very short means short for not reading too many text. Short description of this derivation is given in terms of instead of beta kn also sometimes it is used in different examples. So beta or kn are similar. So in terms of that the same thing is given that for the deriving VIL we are equating the current equation for the N mass in saturation and current equation for the P mass in the linear region. Then first putting the VGSN equal to V in minus V out. In terms of VGSN equal to V in, for N mass it is V in, that substitution I already explained. And similarly for the P mass we are substituting and taking derivative, we are taking derivative with respect to V in and putting dV out by dV in equal to -1, solving it, you are getting VIL. Similarly VIH also we have got. So these two are some important points, and with the help of this we will try to solve the problem. 1 minute. So this one is important and this one is important, with the help of which we will try to solve the problem. VOH already coming VDD and VIL coming V0. Also another important parameter is that what is the value of the threshold voltage. So threshold voltage calculation for the this one we can do because we will apply the saturation both in this in the region in which it is threshold voltage we are calculating. Again we can come to the graph. So this point is threshold voltage point, and in this region P mass N mass both are saturated. In this region P mass N mass both are saturated. This is why in threshold voltage calculation we can take the saturation equation. Saturation equation means ID saturated for the N mass, also for the P mass, and by substituting and solving, and generally this is basically VM equal at this point. What is the basically V out equal to V in, and V out equal to V in, that is also called VM. So at the line, as we have already defined at that line, at the line when V in equal to V out, wherever it is cutting to the plot, that is called VM. So by putting this condition you can solve it, and you are getting this VM. So VM in solving the problem VM will be required, and Kn and Kr ratio is required, that is also given. So anyway mathematical derivation will not be asked, only the application will be there. So in this cat one no derivation, but understanding and application is required. After that this is the VTH we are able to find out, and this formula may be used for the, we will solve some problems in coming lectures. And then also means VIL VOH for ideal inverter, that is there, that I can skip. So next we want to the design static CMOS circuits. So static CMOS logic circuits will be designed, that will be discussed in next lecture. So 5 minutes extra I have taken, but anyway just give a brief overview that static CMOS circuits, how it is designed, what will be done, that we can discuss. So basically in the static CMOS circuit we take two networks, that pull down network and pull up network, because NMOS transistor is very good in pulling the circuit to zero, means passing zero. PMOS transistor is very good in passing 1. So pull up network is made from PMOS transistor, pull down network is made from pull down this NMOS transistor, and this pull up network is dual to pull down network. Whatever network you are making, its dual is this one. It is made from NMOS, and this is made from PMOS. So input all the inputs are given here also and here also. Finally, whatever output you are getting here F, that is basically whatever implemented by this network, it's bar. So output here which we get, that is basically bar of G bar. G is basically implemented here, then G bar will be appearing here. So that we will discuss later on. Let us very quickly give you an example. Like here, two transistors are taken, NMOS transistors. A and B are given. A and B are given at the gate here, and X you are giving here. So output here you are getting at the this side Y. So it will, how it will work, like Y equal to X if A and B, because it is NMOS transistor. If A and B both are means logic 1, then means both are present basically, then Y equal to X, then it will transfer X. And in the other case, R, if you want to make R, you want to make A and B, then this type of logic can be made, means series. So also you want to make R, then this transistor and MOS transistor can be connected in parallel. So basically these properties will be utilized if they are connected, and MOS transistors are connected in series. They will implement and function, and if they are connected in parallel, they will implement R function. And this is basically property of NMOS is used, that is process strong 0 and weak 1, and also PMOS process strong 1 and weak 0. That property I will explain later on detail. For the PMOS case here, A and B you are applying, and you are applying X here, and Y you are getting. So Y will be X when A bar and B bar. Here A bar and B bar will be done. Then A, basically it is implementing A bar and B bar. It was implementing A and B, but PMOS will implement A bar and B bar if it is connected in series. And similarly, the PMOS is connected in parallel, then it will implement A bar or B bar. So it will implement R function, but not exactly A and B, A or B. It will implement means A complement. It is means it's complement. So A bar or B bar, it will implement A bar or B bar instead of implementing A or B. So PMOS is just a dual to the NMOS. Here it was implementing A or B. If A or B, anyone logic high, it will be giving the high. But what is happening here, A or B, A bar or B bar will be implemented. So now let us stop here. We will see all these discussions. 1 minute. So I will come to that later on, next lecture. Let